gonna get this meeting started. We have a couple of guests that's supposed to be here, which was LAPD and CHP were supposed to come today. And after a few announcements that I have, we'll give you the status on the grant. It's supposed to be coming within a couple of weeks, but we'll.
I can provide an update on that.
Yeah, I'll let you do it, but we're gonna get started. Right? So let's bow our heads. All right. Okay. If they show up, we'll allow them to speak. Okay, you can go on and go now.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's good to see everybody. I do apologize. I'll be here for about 10 to 15 more minutes. I have to we have a site visit. I'm also serve as the education director at the Wooten Center. And so we have volunteers. We have the opportunity to have some volunteers, so their supervisors coming to do a site visit. So hopefully we'll have like 7 to 8 volunteers to help with our homework assistance, help with engagement with the students. Also, we have online academic support with iReady and iExcel and Khan Academy. So we're a college and career track after school and summer program, grades 3rd through 12th. And it's a $30 registration fee. Everything else is free. The kids get supper and snack. So, and organization with a heart to serve. We pray before our meetings because we know it's a miracle just to be able to make sure our students have a safe place and they can excel and learn and nurture the gifts that are in them. With that also, with the task force, I sit on the board of the West Athens Westmont task force. It's a privilege. We have some amazing people like Linda here and Jimmy and Vince back there. So with that, and because of all the wonderful work we've done historically, LA County Office of Violence Prevention funded us to continue to do the work we do. And so that was a $50,000 grant. 25% goes to the core work that we do, our weekly meetings, supporting that and documenting that. So we'll have about 35 to 40 meetings in the next year. With that, we want to also document what we do. So we have LA Film Kitchen. We have Michael back there. He's also my son, and I'm also a partner there. And so you'll see the camera. He'll take pictures. What we also will do is edit out anything that needs to stay in this room, okay? So we're very cognizant of that because I want to continue that rich dialogue. Part of this grant, we have to document what we do. And so we have monthly documentation that we must do as well. Linda keeps the books, but also we have some historical pictures that we've taken in the past. So we'll do that to update our website and social media as well, and just being able to share with the community at large what we're doing. A lot of things the task force has set the foundation for, other people have duplicated as well and spread it around the county. So we want to make sure, that part of this grant is to build capacity as well and leverage all the resources and the peer-to-peer support. So another thing within the grant, we want to do peer-to-peer support with presentations. So if you have a topic or anything you're interested in sharing with the group or your expertise, please let us know so we can work it into our weekly meetings as well. And we want to document that because we have some amazing minds in this room as well, whether it's from a neighborhood perspective, a community perspective, a national perspective, anything that could uplift our community as well. Our programs, we have the driving school, and then we'll have a reading program, and we'll also support some STEM program academic support with that as well. And then that's about 27% of the grant, and then the other balance 20% is to support infrastructure and capacity building. So we want to be very transparent of what we're doing. We want to include as much as we can with we look at you as our advisory members, to be able to support our community. So as we see things happening in the community and then we get update from our local law enforcement, what do we learn? What can we do? How can we support that? So if it's a group home, okay, who's running the group home? What are the needs of the clients that you have? So that we can be a part of the solution and not just say, oh, what's going on over there? We want to change the mindset to a growth mindset and be more proactive within our community at large as well. And control the narrative of our community. We know Channel 247 will come out with something negative. We're gonna highlight the positive and address the negative, but looking at evidence-based, as well as research-based information as well. So, Jimmy and I and Ms. O'Brien also sit on the steering committee for the Community Action Pact as well. And so with that, we'll share that with you as well. We provided some flyers with, they're needing some help with naming the park on 95th Street and West Athens here. There's a scan code. Please, take advantage of the library. I went in and found a book on APA style writing for dummies because I have to do a lot of research. So, but whatever you, whether it's for pleasure or you need it for work or assignment, they're also doing a kids paint party for us. So we'll be able to paint and sip apple cider. So Cheryl's very open to doing things with us. And also there's a form over there about the library, online learning, ebooks, audio books, newspapers. So the county's already funding it. We need to use it. They have free laptops and hotspot for those on DPSS. So if we look at that boarding school or that group home over there, if they on DPSS, then the library has laptops and mobile devices. When you educate the mind, you change the decisions that we make. But I think that's what I have to share in a nutshell. Any questions? That's from the heart. Okay.
Okay, Hattie?
Thank you.
Hattie, you wanna share what you have?
Next week there also will be grants open. Huh? Right now this is hot in here, okay, they can hear me, thank you. Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? Seriously. But you don't need to see me. I'm serious, I'm hot,
Can you
I
hear?
got so much going on.
Okay.
Next week, I want you to start looking, because there are other grants that will be available in the community, dealing with mental health,
Yeah.
food security, and all of
Let's
us
start one.
is 1, 2, 3 grants that will be available in our community, from Rising Community. Go on the website and see, you have to fill out the application, to qualify. But there is money, and a lot of money, and these small groups are getting the money. Last time we had several groups to get money in our community that I supported, which I'm not gonna support this time, because they didn't do anything with it. So I'm being honest.
Yeah.
You know, you support people in your community because you want to see them do things, but if they're not doing anything for the people within the community, I don't support that anymore, and I will not. So I'm just saying, this is a time for West Athens to be able to get a grant.
Right.
Hattie, what, I'm sorry, what website?
Through,
Rising.
Rising Community, it comes out, it's risingcommunity.org. It comes out next week, September the 3rd or 4th.
Yeah.
I have the flyers already.
I had the,
Right.
I
Yeah.
got the email.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, you should've got the email.
Yeah.
I got the email for
Okay,
it.
so it starts, and,
We plan to write for it.
We gonna
Yeah.
write down?
apply.
Yeah. Julia's working on it.
Groups that got it last time,
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you need to apply.
thank you. Yeah,
It's a lot of money.
yeah, we're going to pass that on to our grant writer.
Yeah.
I have a question. If grants are approved and the individuals who receive it are not using it according to the criteria,
Just mess it
and
everybody
you
up.
said that you're no longer gonna support, is there a repercussion?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm gonna give you an example, I'm not gonna call the group. There was one group that I did support, and I know they had a lot of issues, so when they were getting ready to cut them, I said, well, give them another chance. These know what I'm talking about. And I said, give them another chance, which they did. Gave them a lot of money, y'all, that's all I got to say. But this time I cannot support them because they're not stable now, so I'm not gonna support them. Now I'm just being honest.
Yeah, but you're not supporting them.
Then the rest of the group, because I was the one to, you know, you have to have somebody to push for people in the
Yeah.
first place.
Yeah.
Since I pushed for the individual because I knew what they were doing in the community. But you got to be stable, you all, and I like to see things being done in our community that represents us and that the people in the community that really needs it is getting it. And, they do a good job of doing that, but you got to protect accountability. It's an evaluation at the end. And because they get
Right.
this money themselves from the state and the federal government, they have to make sure there's accountability.
That's right.
You can help and help people, but sometimes you have to pull back. So that's the only thing I'm saying, there is accountability, let me explain
Yeah.
upset with all the money that went out, $400,000, we didn't see anything from anybody in the community. That's a lot of money. $400,000. That's a lot of money that we did not see utilized in our community. So it's just that, it's supposed to be from 0 to 5 to focus on 0 to 5 years old, but you don't have to be just 0 to 5, but that's the focus. To
Yeah.
have that much money and not use it for the community is a problem for me. And I will not support anything like that.
Okay, Hattie, is it called Rising
Rising
Communities?
communities.
Yeah. Here's the,
She got it
She
there.
has it.
yeah.
Yeah, we filled it out yesterday.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Application yesterday.
You did the introduction part to it.
Yeah.
It's
And,
the introduction part you have to say, but it's a long drawn out process.
Well,
Yeah.
what's the name will apply for?
yeah.
Yeah, you just have to fill out the introduction part to
Okay.
apply.
Yeah, and there's some wonderful with that grant.
It is.
They have SMART goals and scope of work, incubation sessions, so they're training you along the way of how to do it. If you don't have the infrastructure, you can partner with the agency. So if you're a member, a good standing member, and we know your work, we're open to consider doing an MOU with you to partner. You have an incubation session on budgets, evaluation and planning. So you learn as you go along on what they expect, because each organization may have a different way of how they want you to present the information, but they have planning sessions starting September. So we'll be more than happy to share this email with our people that sign in, okay? But we want to all grow together, and if everybody have a piece of the pot, and we can leverage that, we can do some amazing things.
And the community for West Athens, as you see what the two priorities were,
Right.
they voted on that. And I constantly tell us in our community is that we ourselves do not vote. And so you will see the two priorities was not what everybody in this community want, but the people in this community did not vote.
Right, right,
You got what you get.
yeah.
Over 1,000 jobs. Step into success, the 9th annual job fair at the Hawthorne Memorial Center, 3901 West Elsadunder Boulevard in the city of Hawthorne. Thursday, September 28th. Is that an 8 or 6? 8. From 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So step into success, and then you have a lot of sponsors, that will be, and then you click to register, and I guess the rest you'll find out once you register.
That's,
Who
Atherton,
sponsors this?
well,
Who's the sponsor?
The county's a part of it. There's a lot of organizations.
Yeah, it looks like a whole
I
bunch
was
of,
just gonna tell
It's
y'all,
every year.
how we got it was through Atherton Baptist Church.
oh, I see the county.
Okay?
County's a part of it.
Asset department.
Yeah, we know who puts them on,
The
but,
Office of Education.
the notice came through our church.
American Job Center, and then.
Okay, so, I know everybody in here is retired, but, you got
we're-
grandkids.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
Somebody still working? I'll just be-
Some of us still are.
I know some people are still working. I know that. I was just joking. But,
Can I do one more thing?
yeah, please.
I want to
What do you
thank Vincent for bringing over backpacks and the task force for donating backpacks to the Wooten Center. We're starting a male's mentoring group and a girls mentoring group to have that safe space to talk about things that are gender specific. So I called talking to Vince, and he told me he had extra backpacks from the backpack giveaway. So I want to thank you with the backpacks and the socks. But your name is well known in the community and the outreach. So thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Deacon
No, shut up.
Y'all gonna come at me eventually, something. Thank you, Beverly.
No.
Okay, when you walk out.
Okay.
This is, actually, as a board member, she's actually our official secretary. But, when I spoke of working, she's still working. Okay.
Is Monica still part of our town?
No, Monica nor Bruce are part of the task force anymore.
Okay.
You know, I made the announcement that Bruce has chosen to step down,
Right.
and I haven't heard from Monica in I don't know how long. So according to our bylaws and so on, after you miss so many meetings or whatever, we drop you.
But isn't it generally the rule of thumb that if you're in a official capacity and you opt to step down, that you convey it to?
It was conveyed about Bruce.
I know about Bruce.
Okay, but she didn't, so I don't even, I can't address that.
Okay.
Okay?
I mean, I would think this look.
I know it might have sounded harsh when I said no, but
No, you
the
sound
point-
emphatic.
okay, but anyway, I guess she chose to step down as well.
Okay.
But we're functioning, we're going on. We actually have 501(c) intact. So we're official. Okay.
And I also want to add, part of our website and historical picture will include people who've been involved in the past.
Yes.
Okay, and moving forward, just to
You know the
be able.
website.
No, it'll be, the goal is for it to be up and running September 1st.
Okay.
So, you know, we provide a bunch of pictures and things from our past, and just being able to capture that, because everybody's part of the legacy and the building block, okay?
I have a question. You all have a picture of Cliff, who moved to Arkansas, who's one of the original people that started. You all have a picture of him?
I don't know the name.
No.
I don't, but if you do,
No.
I talked to him. I'll
If you do, please.
Bruce to get that, so hopefully.
Yeah. But if you do, Hattie, please share it with Michael.
his phone number out. Let's see.
Yeah,
What's his last name?
I can't think of Cliff's last name. I'll think of it.
yeah. And you can share with Michael so he can get it to,
He was one of the
yeah.
initial people that started.
Yeah, and that's important to know the
Well,
history.
history, if you don't have the history, you don't have anything, you know, so
And
that's,
alongside with what she was sharing, the information she was sharing, and what Mike is capturing, we have to submit those things for the grant that we will be.
yeah. Yeah,
So it's we have to document.
which I have to review.
So
I do.
they're asking for that, so they're required, and they want, like I said, a monthly progress report on what we're doing.
And site visit.
Yeah, site visits. We had one. Our boss came by Thursday to see the facility where we meet. And Vince and I showed him, you know, we sat down and talked. But he explained to us what was necessary and what we needed to do. And she's actually just shared that with you about how the budget for the whole 10 months is planned out. We don't have all the names in there yet because it's like if on September the 2nd, we'll have somebody here that has a bullying campaign he wants to present to us. And we plan to maybe give him a stipend for what he wants to present. See, all those things have to be documented and shown.
Yeah.
Okay?
And I told
So-
them the presentations are to be determined because it's based on what you want to hear and learn.
Absolutely.
So I'm intentional about not putting this in a corner because it's developing and it's organic and depending on what you feel we need to have at this meeting.
Right. And we do plan to have a advisory board, like I said, all of you guys are advisory, but we're going to make it a formal advisory board where your name will be shown.
We
Okay.
really have to have that if you have a nonprofit.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm saying that's what we plan. That's what we're planning to do. We will. So since we've actually, you know, regrouped and since our new filing of the 501(c)(3), we are trying to be compliant with what's necessary. Okay, so I think we have, I think we have an amazing group that I definitely enjoy working with. And we're going to continue to let you guys know what we're doing and what's going on. Most of all, I thank all of you guys for coming and attending to find out what's going on and what you can do to help. That's a plus always. So don't think we take you for granted that you're going to show, especially in a 100-degree temperature. But you know, we really appreciate you, and many hands make light work, and that's what we're about. Many hands make light work. That was a theory that the pyramids was built on in Egypt without instruments. The hands did it. Many hands. So, with that said, I have one more announcement before I bring up Lieutenant. I had a meeting with the principal at Middle College High School this morning, and
Who was the principal now?
Middle College High School on Southwest, yeah, AGC. Yeah,
Middle principal there?
she's not she, it's a guy. Miss Washington's gone.
Oh, she's gone.
Yeah, they did her wrong, but she's gone. They kind of like forced her out, retirement. They,
So who's the principal there?
Mr. Belvedere. Belvedere, yeah. I met with him today, and he said he's going to come to a meeting. And I told him that we have always supported Middle College High School, the task force. He says, well, I'm aware. Well, if you're aware, you should have been to a meeting, but I didn't tell him. but anyway, he says he's coming to one of our meetings, and I told him that we have a relationship with the new president at the college, and I kind of stressed to him, I said, well, I have his ear, I have his personal cell phone number. Whatever we can do to make the transition smoother for the students you have here, along with things you need at the college. So he welcomed that, and he took my name down, and he said, well, yeah, those are some of the things I need help with, is talking to somebody. And so that is that one. Also this evening, between 3 and 5, I have an appointment with 95th Street Elementary School with Mr. Nava, and they have their back to school night, and she asked that I come this evening. And we're going to get the spelling program that we have had there. For those who are not familiar with it, we had a spelling program. We've had a mentoring program and things at that school to help the kids. So, am I talking too fast?
No, she said, what's the name of the school?
95th Street Elementary School. Okay. And anyway, I'm gonna meet with them today. And yes, Heidi.
After that, when are you all gonna meet with the principal at Washington High School? Because Washington High School is in our area, West Athens, and we need to see what's going on in Washington. We know that's Vince old.
I know. Vincent, you're gonna have to answer that.
The reason I say that, because there was an incident that happened at Washington High School that we didn't know about, that I found out about, that was very serious, and that's why I'm saying it.
Okay, well, normally, she was asking when were we gonna meet with the principal at Washington High School.
Oh, I meet with him every week. Tony Booker? Yeah, he's my former student. They call me twice a week. I had to go up there the other day for a student, so it's always something happening. But I'm always in touch up there.
Okay, well, we would love for him
That's no
to,
problem.
we'd love for him to come to one of the meetings
Yeah,
as
school
well.
just started.
I know, brother, I know.
I've asked him to
Had he asked,
say, huh?
I said, had he asked,
Oh, I hear.
yeah, I know you were doing something else.
With representation of Washington High School at our task force, that's
Oh,
what.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because we used to have the area.
Oh, yeah.
I used to represent, before I retired, I used to represent the school board area in Gardena. But we used to have people from Washington High School, even from Locke High School, she comes sometimes when
Absolutely.
she's busy. But we used to have people from all the surrounding schools, so we would know exactly what's going on. People who had children in their school had some issues, and we need to deal with those issues.
Yeah, I'm up on all that.
Okay,
Yeah, if I have something to mention, I'll mention it, because again, I'm connected to that.
all right.
Yeah, the Alumni Association as well, the football team
only two announcements that I had was, meeting with the, school this evening. And we'll determine when we're going to go into the school. I already have one volunteer that's going to help with the spelling program. We're gonna get it going, and it's like I said, we buy items and make them earn things to learn how to spell. We use first grade classes only, and we make them, you know, we try to teach them how to spell, but we make them earn it by learning. That's the whole principle. That's an incentive, right? That's the incentivized program that we have. So I will let you know when we get started. And normally it's 1 day a week. It did turn into 2 days. We did because ended up getting 3 first grade classes. They now have 5 first grade classes. They had 6 when we had the program. However, only 3 of the teachers allowed us to come in. You know, it's up to the teachers. And we started off with 2, then a third one, I guess, maybe saw the progress of the kids or whatever. Well, I want him too. And so we did that. So that's something we intend to continue to do. That's also in our budget as some of the things we continue to do. So we will keep you informed on the program. We will let you know when it starts. We'll have to have an application. A volunteer application has to be filled out and a TB test. That's all that's required. The volunteer application that I will get today, and then you have to get a TB test. I'm not sure, with the school district, I think their TB test is good for 5 years. I'll find out today what they're requiring.
No
That-
fingerprinting,
about,
Jimmy?
No fingerprint, we don't have to have
But
it.
you only do 16
Because we're
hours.
volunteering and we're not only doing,
16 hours.
yeah, it's pretty much less than 16 hours.
It's 16 for the whole month.
Yeah, I said, we don't even get that far. Because normally it takes an hour to pretty much do 2 classes. Because the classes are not huge. They have no more than 24, maybe 24 kids in a class. They're not overly saturated. So I will keep you informed on that program, and at the end of the program, there will be a spelling bee. Now, we have always provided 2 bites to the 2 top spellers, a boy and a girl. And Bruce bought 1 and I bought 1 for the last one that we did. But since we have a budget, I can keep my money and we use the budget. Okay.
501c funding.
But no, if I would still spend my money even if we presented 3. Okay, that's just something I like to do. Keep our Savior smiling. Okay. Lieutenant?
Good morning.
It is your turn.
Good morning, everyone. Lieutenant Monica Botello from South LA, for those who I do not know or haven't met yet. Just wanted to give you a quick rundown, a couple announcements going on in the area for the station. So,
Well, hold on. Let me hold you. You know what's going on outside right now?
no.
Okay, all right. Continue.
Something going on.
I'm sorry, do it over there. On 120.
On 120th?
Yeah.
No.
Mhm.
What's going on?
Right off of Van Ness.
That's what it is, it's a robbery?
That's what my citizens are saying.
Oh, it is a robbery.
So deputies are probably out there right now.
They were.
Yeah, I don't have a radio or else I would have heard the
Oh, okay.
the call go
Okay.
out. So was it dispatched out? Did somebody call 911?
They were just there when I
She said it was a burglary.
So deputies were there? Yeah,
Okay, I'm sorry.
okay,
But everybody was on everybody's mind.
okay. If you want, I can take before I leave, I can call and
Okay.
get an update on the status.
appreciate
Okay.
it.
Yeah, so that way,
It's a man with a gun on 120th and Figueroa Street, but then there was something else.
there's 2 different, that's probably gonna be,
Imperial in Vermont, they said it was a robbery.
Oh,
So
Okay.
the one on Raymond was a different one. So we'll call and get the story.
Okay.
So that's out of our area, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
We don't know.
Okay, so a couple things going on. For South LA, every so often, announcements come up that we try to fill within our station. If I can, I'll try to do my part to announce them for family members within your communities. I have a student worker vacancy at the station. In the past, we've used students from Southwest College that are local, that live within the community. It's my aim to try to fill these positions. They get to know station personnel. They get to work with some of us at the station to decide if they want to pursue an interest or career in criminal justice. If not criminal justice, usually they're doing it to gain credits for business administration. Usually it's just criminal justice related, but I always encourage community members to let your family members know. It's 18 and up. Typically it's for junior college, anyone attending LA City, East LA College, Pierce, any of the 9 community colleges we govern, any of the other community colleges, they're welcome to place an application through lacounty.gov for student worker. And they can place or do a test for an exam. I think there's a type of written preparation test to kind of rate the student, but it's really more of a formality. You know, for student workers, anyone that shows interest, I can get an email out to you also through our academic externship, where they reach out and they'll contact me and they'll say, I have a student at Southwest and would they be interested, and they're interested in working at your station, would you agree? And I always agree to take at least 2. So I encourage you to put it out to your community members who might have family in the community colleges who are interested in working at South LA. It's for credit, so they're not necessarily paid positions, but just something to think about. And also, for those that are looking for a career within the county or the department, the county does open up for examinations for various civilian positions. And I know the department is in need of sheriff station clerks and community service assistants that are civilian oriented. Community service assistant is a position within the station or station. It doesn't have to be South LA, of course, but it would be throughout the county, and you could pick and choose if you're going to decline to accept an interview if it's, say, outside the community. But South LA does have openings for a community service assistant, which is the individual that you may see when you walk into the lobby. He's wearing a blue shirt, and he'll be there to help you at the lobby and take reports, or at least listen to what you have to say and refer you to the right party. That's a position that we do have open. I mean, I think it's always important to tie it into somebody within the community. We used to do a volunteer program at the station, and we still do. I usually have the volunteers come work at the YAL though. And that's still an open program that we look at to take on individuals and members within the community who may want to volunteer at the station and get to know how we work and how we do things and who we are. So I think it's an important way to kind of bridge that gap sometimes with our community and what we do at the station on the daily. So that takes care of announcements. Do you guys have any questions on that?
I do. On the sheriff, station clerk, the community service position, what are the qualifications? High school graduate or
Community
what?
service assistant is typically just a high school degree, and probably some sort of customer service related experience, but not really. I think it has more to do with interest. These are all opening, like entry level type positions. Usually, obviously they'll do a background check, that kind of thing. But absent that, it's more just for me, it's for people who are younger and older, who older may be retired, they just want to do something, get out of the house, they want to help. They do get paid. It's not like a high amount of pay, but it's an entry level type thing. So I do have some individuals I have one guy that's been there forever, and I think it's comfortable for him. It works within his lifestyle. But we look to bring anyone on board who's bright, young, energetic, who's looking to go elsewhere in the department or maybe in their career and is just using this maybe as an interest. Like maybe I might be interested in law enforcement. I don't know. It's an open entry-level position. The sheriff's station clerk is a clerical position, typically like a secretarial type position where you're doing a lot of data entry. I don't know the requirements offhand. High school degree, a A lot of the individuals who apply are in the midst of college careers, junior college. Some of them have experience in other county positions doing clerical work, typist work, and they're trying to move up a level. But you probably need some sort of basic entry-level clerical experience. But it's really an exam that gets you take, and it kind of places you and rates you. So again, those are more like for young people who, like, they're working their way through school, they want to be able to move on, they want to be able to have a consistent job, and it's, again, they're in law enforcement community, in the law enforcement environment. It's new to many people. They may not have any law enforcement idea about what it's about, but it's a good way to get into a county position, because once you're in, you're able to move and do other things over time, which is good because it's good benefits, and there's other important things to consider as people try to develop a career. And so these are always, for me, more about people trying to maybe work their way through school, get good benefits, kind of have a solid schedule, and so something to think about. So that sheriff station clerk is also go into lacounty.gov and periodically check to see whether they're accepting open examinations and apply. And please encourage any family members. I think it's an important and really fundamental way to get started into a career. And sometimes too, I would say, post high school, community college isn't for everyone. College isn't for everyone, and so this might just be a different way to go about achieving a successful career. And there's many individuals I know that have moved on, starting at that position, and moved their way over the years. So I know last time we talked about statistics. So I want to make sure I touch base with you on that. In the last week, we didn't have any gang-related shootings and no gang-related murders. And that was the week ending on Saturday of this past Saturday. So that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
We did have a shooting, though, that was not gang-related that happened at the liquor store in 93rd and Vermont. And that appeared to be some sort of fighting or arguing between two older male Hispanics in front of the liquor store, and I guess both frequent that area or go into that liquor store quite often during the day. And so they were arguing, and then they walked away from each other, but then one of the individuals felt like pain in his back, and he had been shot. And so he had been shot in his back, and he was treated at Harbor General Hospital. So they did recover some casings at the scene, and they believe that it was male Hispanics, and they think the video surveillance also captures a male black about 40 years old. They indicate all the parties involved are frequent customers, but there's no gang affiliation. And so we're going to be looking at that within our detectives at Station Bureau. Since there's not a gang nexus, our gang detectives will not take a look at that. We also had a shots fired call in the area, actually a little bit outside of it, over in Gardina's area, and that was a person shooting gun in the air, and they did actually detain the individual at his residence, and they located the firearm, and he was ultimately arrested. There was no gang nexus or anything. I think that's just someone being careless with a firearm. Male Hispanic, 27, and arrested behind that back last week on the 23rd. Year to date, there has been, I have 15 gang-related shootings from January 1st to August 27th, and we're significantly down compared to last year. Well, compared to last year, we had 18, so we're lower than we were at this time last year, but overall, we're on pace to be even lower than we were at year's end. So these are good numbers. Recently, my executive staff and I spoke about potential reasons why that could be. And it's hard to say whether it's our presence in the community, whether it's community members doing their part to assist with those, and encourage others to pursue a different avenue. However it's working, we do have this solid sort of steady decrease in crime, which at least in terms of gang shootings and gang murders. I do see an uptick in robberies, and we have both types happening within the area. Primarily street robberies that happen by force or fear. It doesn't always have to be a gun. It's somebody demanding money or jewelry or wallet or phone from you while you're on the street, like your mugging type situations. And then we do have some that may be more organized, at different stores within the areas, typically phone stores, the AT&T stores, stores like that, where you have people coming in a concerted effort to steal as much as they can and then leave. I see that you're not high, but higher than we were last year at this time for grand theft auto, so that means more autos are being stolen in the unincorporated area, not just West Athens, Vermont, but also in the other unincorporated areas of LA County that we govern in South LA. I do have an operation right now outside of this particular jurisdiction, just outside of West Athens, to deal with auto theft. I'm going to request that they actually do another operation closer to here to help bring these numbers down. Because
I have a question. Do you know which autos? I hear like, Prius and another auto, and then the catalytic converter. Do you have, as to what type of autos it seems to, they've been hitting more frequently than?
no, but I can get that information for you in terms of like the make and model of the vehicle. The catalytic converters we classify separately. We don't consider them auto theft per se. It's a theft from the vehicle, typically a grand theft. Those have actually come down a little. So it's mostly the actual stealing of the vehicle. And I'll check and provide information to you and Vinny regarding the type, so you guys can be aware. And it doesn't always necessarily apply to keyed vehicles. We're seeing it in both types, keyed and the keyless with the fob. So just be aware of that and make sure your cars are secure.
Kia Optimas are like the number one
One
car
that
that's
goes
not
down.
being stolen.
Yeah.
They just left one at the corner of our, like right in front of our building, and the sheriff's had to come and tow
And
it.
recover it.
Like they literally left it, windows down, just in the middle of the street on 97th and Vermont. And then the funny part is like he was in the car, the sheriff came up, talked to him, and then drove off. And like a little while after that, he got out of the car, walked away, and just left the car in the middle of the street. And then so we called, and then the sheriffs came and they ended up towing it. And I was like, your buddies came, we talked to him, but I guess he was like, oh no, just having car problems. And then he just let it go.
I don't know. I wouldn't know without me being there exactly how that happened.
Yeah. No, but what the sheriffs told me was that what happened is they had just reported it. So I guess when the first
It wasn't
ones-
initially
it
entered as
wasn't
stolen.
it wasn't reported stolen
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
So
So that's
that-
huge for us because when we check a plate, if it's not reported stolen, then we're not necessarily gonna think anything about the vehicle initially,
Yeah.
depending on what the individual says or does, right? So, of course, in that short span of time, things happen.
Yeah.
So I would say it could be Optimas, but I'll check on that, because it's definitely not just gonna be a Kia Optima. There's a whole
No,
host
that's
of vehicles.
that's what they were saying, that's like the number one car. I think it was Optimus and then the Hyundai something.
I heard about them.
There's probably Hyundai Elantra.
Yeah.
Any of the four-door sedans that are smaller and compact are still subject to high theft. But we're seeing all of it. We're seeing SUVs, we're seeing all of the, there's no
Whatever they
one
can get
type.
their hands on, I'm sure.
So, after that, everything is down. Our homicides are down, our reported rapes, and our reported rapes, just so you know, deal with a lot of known individuals. These are gonna be acquaintance-type rapes, or somebody they met online, somebody that they have somehow trying to establish some sort of connection with, and things go astray. Some of it has to do with alcohol being involved, and, the individual wakes up and not what you expected or wanted. So many of these we deal with are not, they're known in some way. So it's never gonna be like a random person unsuspecting on the street type thing. It's not very common. And we're actually down significantly, about 25%, so that's good for us. Our burglaries are also down, and our thefts, the catalytic converters and other thefts, they're about the same. They really haven't changed in the last 3 months or so. So we're okay. Obviously, it could be better. I'm happy to say, I really like the fact our burglaries are down, because that's usually crimes of opportunity during the day and vehicle thefts at night. The way these are classified, it doesn't always make a distinction. So I think we're doing okay. These homes are occupied. And when they're occupied, some of them are occupied, that kind of limits our ability to do certain things. So the department just acquired a grant, actually, through the Board of Supervisors to provide an area for us to start towing these RVs after we provide service. So there's a whole series of events that we have to do when we find that they're occupied with individuals living in them, to provide them services before we can actually remove them from the street. So I hope CHP was gonna be here too because they could speak on what they're able to do, but we're starting a program. I just got the deputies trained last week. So as we start to ramp this up, they'll be working in concert with our parking control officers and our host team, which is that deals with the mentally ill and the homeless and the underserved in that way to provide service before we start doing it. So it's kind of a process.
So you say that you're providing services to them before they can be
Yes.
removed. So what does that mean?
That means that usually there's a clinician that accompanies the individual deputies. So when the deputies come back, when we get a debriefing about the training, the requirements that we have to do, I do know this. Before, when we encounter an individual or a family that's living in an RV, we have to notify our host team and let them know we need to provide service. So if the deputy that was trained last week, the 4 deputies, say that they can bring that clinician to these individuals, or at least let them know, providing them informational brochures and other resources. And if that clinician comes and says and they say we don't want any of your services, we're fine, we're living here, then we have to give them notice and say, okay, you have this many days to remove your RV from the
Is that
street.
right? So,
Because it could be sanitary violations, other health violations going on there too.
so how are you targeting these RVs?
So-
Which ones are you going after?
I'll rely on my parking enforcement supervisor to let me know and identify those and say, okay, this one's been here, parked for like a week, and we could see that it looks like they've got curtains over their windows, and we see people coming in and out of there. It looks like they could even be setting up power some way. Those are the ones that we'll identify first. So we'll be working on community resources to help us give us information about which ones that have been there for a prolonged period of time. And the deputies also know because they drive by them daily.
Now, Lieutenant, here's the other thing. We were talking with someone from Public Works last week, week before last. We were talking about, how most of these RVs are set up, and then outside of the RV, they have stacked most of their belongings that they just haven't been able to keep inside. And the response that we got was, we have to be very careful about approaching their belongings, because if they are like microwaves, and I'm just throwing that out, like microwaves and hot plates and those are their belongings, and they just can't be picked up and discarded of.
No, that's why when we talk about services, like we have to do steps to show that we've tried to help that individual or individuals and their families to provide them service, whether it's sheltered housing, whether it's resources to help with finances, or if they have drug issues or other issues, mental health issues, that they need resources to kind of get them moving in a way. And then once that's done and we show that we provide them resources, then we have to say, okay, we've given them notice that we're gonna come back, and when we come back, if they haven't moved, we're gonna tow their vehicle and their belongings too. So we have a systematic procedure so we don't get into problems with that.
Sure.
Where you're just gaffling up somebody's property.
Right.
And we can't just discard it. Typically, we're gonna have to figure out through that training if we can put it back into the RV, whether we store it with the RV at the this big, huge area that we were able to acquire through the Board of Supervisors that allows us to keep their property with their RV. So it's a big event for us, and we might do 3 or 4 in one shot. But they're training our deputies now to go about doing that without running afoul of some of the issues involving really what's become their home. I wanted to announce this so we know it's a slow process for us, but it is happening. Finally, it's been a while because we were told hands off for a long time.
So if we have information as to where you might look
Yes.
at this, how do we get that to you? Through this resource or what?
I would say the best recommendation, personally for me, is to email me, because then I can forward it down to the 4 deputies that are going to be leading this group, this
Okay.
team.
Your email address is?
Yes, here you go.
Okay.
It's right here.
There you
We
go.
saw, when we were walking this morning, 2 RVs, and then the sheriffs were there talking to the owners or the occupants, and then it looks like they put something on the front of the RV
yeah.
And then they'll return. And they have humongous storage beyond the RV. All just,
Yeah,
just,
they do.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's like off of
Yeah,
Western.
like their own storage facility.
127, that's right over from me.
Yeah,
I know
127,
exactly
my
where
wife
you're
said,
talking
yeah.
about.
And they've been there for,
Mm-hmm,
With
yeah.
a couple of dogs in there too. Don't
they
get
got
dogs.
dogs, I didn't see any dogs.
And it'll be working the same way, because for us, it's not just about, there's a couple of different ways we have to look at it. One is the RV's immobilized, meaning it doesn't function. It's just sitting there on the street broken,
Yeah.
and there are sanitary issues there in terms of where they use the restroom and all of that, and their storage of their property outside. Then we have those that are moving around, but they're also, I'm presuming, go right back to where their property is when the parking guy goes away, and they go right back. So those will be
Yeah.
subject to the same kind of notice, because we're gonna have to be dealing with the property on the outside. So that's gonna be, again, a systematic, we might have to look at that in two different ways, depending on what we're allowed to do. I think it's gonna have to do more with their property that they're leaving on the side of the street. And I'll talk with the deputies about that and work with our team. It's one team for the entire department.
Right.
So, I have a resource that I use, a sergeant that has a team, and it's me having to communicate with him as to what our limitations may be with something like that. When they're moving back and forth, but their property's being out, can we move it? And if so, can we just give them the same notice? And your property's gonna be in that same lot. But the problem is they have no RV attached. So we'll be working on that issue, and I'll bring it up with them today, because that training just concluded last week. So this is all starting to ramp up.
Got a question.
Well-
Oh, sorry.
Well, go on.
Hi,
Hi,
I own some property on 80 Street.
I'm sorry, what street?
I own some property on 80 Street, 80 Street.
Okay,
And I was over there working yesterday in a vacant unit. And I observed there's some property next to my property. I've been vacant for about maybe 5 to 6 years. And what I understand from the lady's stepdaughter, that the property went back to the bank, like a reverse mortgage.
okay.
And yesterday I observed a red big old truck. And just put over there in the property with a red eagle, I guess in a mobile home, and parked it there, and left it there, and I have pictures of it.
And what's,
I went to the police station today, that's why I was late getting here, because, on 77th Street, and there's really too much anything they can do about it.
so is that gonna be LAPD's area?
Yes,
77?
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
LAPD
It's
77th
LAPD's
precinct.
That's the 77th precinct.
Yeah.
Right, this is a picture of it.
So sometimes
That's okay.
it's
I'm encouraging to get it too.
of opportunities, if they know that the property is vacant.
I was only able
Wow.
to
For
see
such a
the
long
back of it,
time,
and
That's what happened with the dirt over there
So
behind,
they're using it
where
just
where
part.
they, right now, I just
Container.
parked it out.
Containers are,
They
yeah.
threw some trash over
after
in
they
my
moved
backyard.
containers,
See, this is
they knew there was a
my
vacant
trash
lot.
can.
And that's why the illegal dirt was piling up over there, because they knew it was vacant.
And this is.
And that word
So
spread
they're
like
gonna have to, so
wildfire.
make sure when you
People
contact LAPD.
with dump trucks that are moving something up, they are paid to go dump it where they're
I
supposed
was
to.
one that they-
But then they'll take the money and go dump it somewhere else.
It's really nothing that's wrong. I have to go to,
Yeah.
the collision
Yeah.
on, 80 in Vermont. So I'm going there this evening and talk to them.
To do what?
On 80 in Vermont.
No, but I mean, like, what are they gonna do?
Go there and talk to them. They said that's the best person to talk to.
I don't know, and the only reason I say that is because this is kind of a tough one, because that property is not yours.
No.
Somebody's gonna have to find out who that property belongs to, because you have to be able to track down whether that individual has the permission on the
I've
property.
been working on this for 3 years, this big
Oh.
property. I mean, I even went to the
Yeah.
city of LA and everywhere. But this is something new.
Yeah,
This
because
just
they're-
got there
That's
yesterday.
because it's vacant, that's why they went on there, for
Yeah.
an opportunity, right? They see if there's nobody around, so, and LAPD is telling you they can't do anything?
That's what they tell me. I have to go to, community,
Because the person that has the legal standing
Community
is
collision.
actually the owner of the property.
but you said
belongs
the
to the
bank owns
It
it.
went back to the bank.
So the bank,
When the lady passed, it went back to the bank.
So someone will have to pressure a representative from the bank to file a notice of agency with LAPD for trespassing, which means that gives LAPD For me, that's it for me, but I wanted to make sure we have my email because I need to know that if you give me the IDs of the RVs, we can start
Oh,
working
we
on
can
that.
do that. Who needs
And then I'll get you the
lieutenants?
information.
Yeah, let her read it and.
Someone
You can
said,
read it and then you
Okay.
can
so
take
I
a
can give you the
picture of
information on
it.
the cars.
Take a picture of
Okay,
it.
I'll do that.
I'm gonna put it right
I'll do
here.
that. I'll
Take a
send it.
picture.
I had one question before you go.
Uh-huh.
I had reported on the incident where the man dug in the ground and
Oh, yeah.
home on Normandy, right?
Yeah,
Anyway,
he
they
back.
removed him for 3 or 4 days. I went back through that Sunday, he's right back.
Give it to
Now, this is the
Yolanda.
second time. They cleaned him up. but
Yeah.
Yolanda
prior
wants
to
it,
after
yeah.
they take him out, he's been
Right.
right there across from your station, right there on the freeway, on the west side.
On the west
He's
side.
on
of
the
the city.
embankment?
Huh?
Yes, he's up on, he's
He's
through,
on in the ground, but he got dug a hole.
he dug a hole up in there.
It's a home. He makes.
Yeah, he makes it his house.
He's been removed twice to my knowledge.
Yeah.
Do you know who had removed him?
Right now.
I don't know who moved him,
Yeah, 'cause I haven't.
but he's been moved twice.
I know 2 times that I've seen him.
I can refer it out to CHP. What's
And
the
he-
location?
It is no, you know where safe landing is?
Yeah.
He's right.
It's,
Right behind it?
you know, it's in front of it. It's on the west side of the street. Safe landing's on the east side. And it's, yeah, it's on the west side, and I think it's north of, Safe Landing.
He's right across the street.
Yeah,
On the corner, he's right on the end
Well,
of the
he-
freeway.
yeah. He's not really up here.
Is he on the embankment side? of the
Yes,
freeway?
he's on the embankment above the sidewalk.
Yeah, it's a fence there. but
There's a
he
fence
comes
there.
right
You,
back
you
out,
can't
right
miss
back
it
in.
once you drive by.
Well, I'm gonna,
Sunday morning,
When you go back,
that might be kind of close to our station, so I'd like to go out there and see.
well, actually, if you go back and go back down, you'll see it on the left-hand side of the street. You'll see it. You can't help but see it. And he's been
Let me
removed
call
twice.
my station real quick so we get an update on the.
Okay,
all that's
that'll
within
work.
our area.
All right.
Carjacked, like I said, one of us carjacked by these grotesque out there on Imperial French last week.
I might have heard something about it.
I heard they beat her pretty bad too. Daylight.
I can check and see. I'll follow up too because I can give a report on the status of what we have. Because that would have been our handle for
Yeah.
for investigation.
Sure.
So I'll make a look.
Okay.
So I'll-
Okay, so she said that her email regarding the campus and things, she wants us to send her an email
with the list of the
with
RVs.
the list of the RVs.
license plate.
And then I'm gonna
Well,
call
you can put the light plates on there, but definitely the corner, the street where they are.
Yeah, it was just, they were sitting outside, maybe it was what she was talking. No, she-
Anybody else need lieutenant's
Yeah.
email address or card information?
Thank you, Lieutenant.
No, I'm gonna call the station real quick to figure out if we can get an update on the call that we got earlier. And, you think it was a robbery, right?
Still thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, we appreciate
She's
it.
awesome.
Lieutenant, coming down. Very important, we know what's going on. I'm gonna ask a question, I had, are the gang units still active in the community?
Good question.
We have four.
Four
Four to
lieutenants.
six detectives that are actively working with them.
Okay.
But depending on what's going on, let's get by, then they primarily handle South Florida.
Okay, serious.
Yes, girl, them RVs, I just like, oh my God,
Thank you,
finally.
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant, oh, she's on the phone.
Yeah.
Newly
I
captain.
have an announcement.
You know what I said, Jim? Newly captain. I'm just wishing you.
I have an announcement.
Okay, come on. She's gonna come
Yeah,
back
she's
and
coming
share,
back.
and then I'll, ask her. Okay, come on, Linda.
Oh, my turn?
Yes.
How many in here know about the Toastmasters? Toastmasters? Well, a very, very, very long time. I know. And I do know that I went into the Toastmasters 25 years ago. And that was when I was with sickle cell. And the opportunity that it gave me was not only confidence in speaking in front of people, but an opportunity to just understand what I was doing wrong. So there is an opportunity for anybody that is interested to join a group that is dealing with doing Toastmaster sessions every week. And It says to here, join today to become a better communicator and leader tomorrow. And the next session is on Thursday from 6:30 to 8:30 at the Bridge Builder office on Vermont. Now, I drove up Vermont the other day. I had no idea they had just, if you don't go somewhere often, you kind of see how things have changed. And right there, adjacent to USC, oh my God, they have built all these beautiful buildings, and it is. And this is where one of the buildings are that they're holding this. And it's open to the public, it's free, you know, it's small, it's intimate, so if anybody would like to take a picture of this and then attend, because it's some skill sets that you might be able to use now and in the future,
All right.
if you're interested.
Thank you. Thank you, that's good. Regarding the other announcements that's been made today, you know, govern yourselves accordingly. Also on September, I told you on September the 2nd, there was a guy and his wife doing a bullying piece. On September the 19th, we'll have another visitor who will be talking about estate planning, insurance, the whole line, whatever you need. And she'll be here to do a presentation. And that's on September.
That's doing the estate planning?
Do I know who?
Yeah, who's doing that?
Yeah. Her name is Kim Taylor. She will present that on the 19th. Okay?
September 19th?
Yes.
And then September 2nd?
September the 2nd, his name is Alvin Johnson. The bullying piece. Okay? Now, that's what Beverly was talking about as being a part of the task force. If you find people out there or you meet people out there that can share information that will be helpful to us, that's where you all have the authority to say, you don't have to call me, Jimmy, can I invite such and such? Well, you know, if it's helpful, you can sure call me and we can put it down, but that's what we want you to do as well.
But isn't there a screening process where if we do find someone that is interested in giving a presentation to our group that we may think is valuable, don't you want to know in advance? Like,
Please, I said please, you can call Vince, myself, Linda.
just to know.
Yeah, please.
The bullying is September the 2nd.
The what now?
Bullying,
Bullying is September the 2nd.
where?
Here. Here.
They're coming to.
They're coming here.
Yeah.
The 2nd is Saturday.
No. What's the first Tuesday then?
The 5th.
Well, it's September the 5th.
Yeah, well,
My bad. September the 5th. It's the 5th. Oh. Okay.
So I checked for any calls that came out as priority or emergent in this area. Nothing with the guy over again. There's nothing. So if anyone saw deputies detained, it would have been a traffic stop or some other observational stop, but they were doing their own contact. But we had no report of that with them in this area. In the
Oh, it
last,
was 120th and Figueroa, that's what my
outside,
sister.
yeah, and that's outside our area.
Okay.
Just stay for
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you. Yeah, it's September the 5th. My bad. I'm gonna push on September the 2nd. Yeah. But it is the 5th and the 19th. Those are they promised to come. Yes.
One of my neighbors I spoke to just yesterday in College Park Estates is saying they're starting to break in the mailboxes,
Again.
you know, the other side.
Should have brought this up when she was here.
The west side? West side?
Yeah, they have those,
The closest western, those boxes.
they're like this. They have
Yeah, you needed to say that when the lieutenant was here.
Yeah.
Well, here, just take the number down.
She got the numbers, I got the picture.
Okay, good. Good.
Mailbox back.
Well, yeah, Cause I think before, they said something about sending the patrol unit in the area.
They did.
They did,
They did,
okay,
they
okay.
did, they certainly did.
Well, alright.
And sh-
If you have some important mail come through, apply for that alert that tells you what mail is coming through. Apply for that.
You know, I love that, because I know always in advance what to expect.
Yeah.
Right, and they send me an email, and it's a picture of the, front of the envelope, and I say, okay, you know, and it tells you when it's a wonderful, I think the information to have.
You want to say that again, Jeanette?
There's an app that the postal service have where you can get advance notice on whatever type of mail that you will be receiving that day or probably the next day. And I advise you to, you know,
I have that, I love it, love it.
coming in and you know to go get your mail. Because like you said, the rise of mailbox theft is going up now. My daughter just called me this morning, they broke in her box at 1 o'clock in the morning. So if you know what's coming, have an idea of what's coming in, you can go get your mail out the box. But I advise you, check your mailbox daily. Don't leave your mail in there for a whole week.
Yeah,
Check your mail because they're back, breaking their mailbox down.
Yeah, looking for any and everything.
USPS.com.
Yes.
Alright. Thank you.
And if you're looking for a job, they still hiring. So USPS.com hiring. So if you're looking for a carrier, especially now Christmas is coming up, mail handler, clerk, or janitor, custodian, they're hiring. So you can't say you can't find a job, but the postal service is hiring.
Okay.
Rudy,
What is that position they get before they become PTA?
A CCA. Now, if you go for a carrier, you have to be dedicated. Because it takes a lot of your time. A lot of your time. But, I tell you what,
Yeah,
carrier,
yeah,
they get over $100,000, so.
CTA, that's right. Oh, yeah. Alrighty, that's all I have, guys.
I think, Rudy wanted to.
Oh, okay, come on.
Just real quick, in the way of hi everyone, this is again, Rudy from Girls Club Los Angeles. Just wanted to give a quick reminder that every Wednesday we have a food share giveaway. Each week we serve up to 300 families. There's produce, there are dairy products, meat, dry goods, canned goods. So pass that word along. We're at Girls Club is 2057 West Century, right next to Jesse Owens Park on Century. It starts at 10 a.m., goes until about 11:30, until all the bags are done. And we're also looking for volunteers. I don't have flyers today, but I promise to bring some next week. But thank you for that. So,
Thank you, Rick. All right, he did say something important, that they're looking for volunteers. So, consider yourself bored, volunteer. Okay. All right, Vince, did you have anything else?
No, that's, Debbie said at the beginning, very important, which where we're going, where we are now. And we'll have more announcements about that each week because it's growing. Once we start getting funding, things start changing. So the thing, what she was saying earlier in the opening of the meeting, man, is very important. And also, we are going to go back to servicing these 35 students with our driving class as well. That's going to be part of the grant, so that's important. So we'll be reaching out to you all to see if you have a nephew or niece or grandson, somebody within 15 and a half to 18 years of age to get their permit and their license through our nonprofit. And that's very important what we're trying to do, so keep that in mind.
And we're supposed to have some more political, people coming in, maybe, within next week or two.
Yeah, Charlotte from the school district, you met Charlotte, little tall lady that came.
Yeah, she was here with
She's
before.
on the school district board for, replace Dr. McKenna downtown. So I've been speaking with her. In fact, they gave me a steering committee member last week to help her move within these high schools,
Yes, I think everybody ready for it.
Y'all want some. But anyway, Charlotte.com, the sister is gonna be invited over all these schools, which help our kids improve. Very important, 'cause I know how that goes. And she's a former student at Dorsey, former athletic director, basketball coach as well, and she's moving real quick. She's doing events every day, and I like how she's moving for these kids. Y'all see what's going on politically with these people every day on TV where they're trying to take us, so she's really doing a good job in that area right there. Question there, Yolanda has a question.
Yes.
Question, have you heard anything about the testing?
No, didn't say when they would have the final report.
Wait a minute, I missed that.
Oh, it was regarding the soil samples
Oh,
behind the
yeah, I know
container.
that. Okay.
She told me that it looked good, what she's heard of, but they don't have the final report. So I'll continue to keep in touch with her, and when she gets the final report, maybe they'll bring it and discuss it with us. Caltrain I'm talking about will come and share that information with us, so that I know we are waiting on the dirt to be removed, but make sure it's not contaminated.
Right, that's what good.
That's the most important
Right.
thing. Anything else?
AJ, you good?
Yep.
Arnetta, you want an update on Jennifer's situation?
Your new business cards.
No?
I've got them, you know, and next week.
Did you do the
I
fundraiser?
invited Jennifer to come back and talk about, you know, what,
The
about her
fundraiser.
campaign.
Yeah.
And she said she'll be back. It's, you know, she just can't come more than once a month right now.
All right.
And it's still scheduled for October the 1st?
And I'm still, yes, I'm gonna send out something, probably next week, like, leaving for vacation.
And hopefully soon, Cal State Community Skills will be having a cannabis forum, which will include Jennifer, so I'll keep you guys posted for that.
A cannabis forum?
Candidates forum.
Candidates forum.
Oh, candidates.
Candidate,
Oh, I
yeah.
thought you said cannabis.
Cannabis.
I got it now. I got it.
He's got
They had those too, Jennifer. They had those too.
I know. I thought, my bad. I got it. It's a little hot, y'all. I got it.
Hopefully, maybe, we're hoping maybe like October, November, or possibly February. But hopefully before the primary.
Okay,
So
because,
that's
well, we know two candidates anyway that have been here. Jennifer and, Michelle
chambers.
Chambers. And, actually, her representative came week before last.
Yes.
Michelle Chambers. Yeah.
She's here last week, wasn't she?
Was it last week?
Yes,
Yeah,
it was
okay.
last week.
Well, guys, we're not gonna hold you.
Amber, you guys
We're
clear?
gonna,
Y'all clear, Amber?
Yeah.
Mary Lee?
Yes,
Y'all
we
make
will
sure-
today.
We wanna make sure our minds clear.
almost clear.
Hopefully, LAPD will come back next week. I don't know.
It's okay. Well, we're always open to them. So, Mike, we want to thank you for documenting this meeting. We appreciate you very much. The documentation that he's doing, we will have to submit that to our funders, showing how the money is being spent. So, thank you, Mike, for doing what you do.